All right, we'll go ahead and take questions.
For Coach.
Like Scott was just talking about the running back, and when you get into a game, when you got four guys, how do you? Is it a game-by-game thing? You know, who has the hot hand, and then I guess go off of that, how did you see that competition kind of play out?
Yeah, great question, Jody. I think just like Coach described, we feel confident in all those backs. I think we've had a great competition in that room during fall camp, and feel confident in each one of them going in the game. I think it's a game-by-game basis. You know, you get a feel as you get into the game which guy's really feeling it, seeing it well, really has the hot hand and confidence for each game, and so you really just play off of that for each of those guys in each game.
Wide receivers, obviously, Lexman said that T. Huddy and what he can bring. What do you like about the depth and the competition you've seen in all this stuff?
Yeah, really love the competition that we have in that room, the leadership. I think that we've got a group of guys that's bought into what we're preaching and what we're selling. They've stayed after, worked extra hard, and so I feel confident in our top six guys. I really like the group that we have, the attitude and leadership that they displayed, even though we don't have a ton of production and experience on the roster. I really like that group and what they've shown us during fall camp.
As a quick follow-up to that, Jalen Carter recently was put on scholarship. What have you seen from him that's impressed you guys?
Yeah, congrats to Jalen. I mean, that's a huge honor for him. One that I told him, I mean, you know, I was a guy who started out as a walk-on receiver that earned a scholarship, and, you know, coming from a guy that went through that same path, I mean, he has earned everything that he has gotten. It's been really cool to see his maturation, his development. We've given him opportunities in the spring and in training camp to prove what he can do, and I tell you what, our quarterback trusts him, and that's the biggest thing is you know, when we throw him the ball, he makes plays.
When it comes to those wide receivers, how have you seen their chemistry with Malik kind of develop through fall camp? Do you feel good about it entering this first week?
I do. I feel really good about the chemistry. I think that's one of the things that we talked about from the pass game aspect is that trust between the quarterback and the pass catchers, that you to me factor, and they developed that during the offseason. I mean, our guys got together 3 days a week early to throw extra. They've watched film this week together on Syracuse, and so that's kind of how you build that chemistry and bond, is just spending time with each other. It's like any other relationship you have.
How would you describe what Syracuse does defensively, kind of the challenges there? That's kind of unique. They're not very big, but it's a 3-3-5 and they're really active, so what kind of challenges that presents for you guys?
Yeah, Syracuse does a great job on defense. Their defensive coordinator has done a great job running the 3-3-5. I think that they've got the guys in the system. You know, they're returning 8 starters on defense, so they return some experience. They're kind of like us offensively. They feel really good about the guys that they're returning. It's another year in their defensive system, and that is a havoc-creating defense. When you look at what they do, they create negative plays by penetrating, by blitzing, by, you know, creating different looks up front, but also on the back end. And so, you know, we have to be locked into our keys. Not only from the quarterback position, but from all positions offensively, to make sure that we know what look that they're giving us.
Right. Yeah. What's the next step that you want to see Malik make as he goes into his last year?
Continue developing leadership. I think he's done a great job in fall camp, but it's easy when the lights aren't on and you're not in a game and the pressure. And I think we all play this game with passion, especially Malik. He has a ton of passion and excitement for this game, and I think sometimes it's how you channel that. And so just continuing to channel his emotions, but also do it in a positive way where it affects our group positively each and every week that we go out. Because to me, it's not really about stats, it's about wins and losses and playing the next play.
Lance, as far as, I guess, chemistry-wise, you know, you coming in as offensive coordinator, learning with these guys, experience plus newcomers, how much do you all, I guess, feel you're on the same page now with this offense, with, you say, the things that you like to do compared to, you say, what Louisville has run?
Yeah, Coach Satterfield's done an excellent job. I feel great with not only his and I bond and chemistry, but also the chemistry amongst our coaching staff. We've done a great job as a whole, really putting this game plan together, being on the same page, making sure that it's not my way, it's not their way, but how do we get the best way to put our players in a great position to make plays on Saturday. And that's what it's about, putting our playmakers in the best possible positions.
Lance, kind of jumping off of that, I realize you might not know this until an actual game is played, but how do you see kind of the in-game and game day responsibilities on offense splitting between you and Scott?
Yeah, we've had a lot of reps at that, even though we haven't had a game. We've had, you know, scrimmage situations where we've worked the headsets, we've worked sideline communication, we've worked the sideline adjustments, and so I feel really comfortable with what we put together. I think he trusts me, I trust him, and that goes for the whole staff. I mean, Coach doesn't just want input from me, he wants input from our whole staff, and I think that's a credit to the staff that he has built and that we have here, and I think it's a credit to the work that we put in during the week and knowing what we're looking for on Saturdays.
Lance, how do you maybe envision the wide receiver guys? I mean, as far as playing time goes, will some of those young guys, will you have to use them early because you don't have as much depth? And I noticed on the depth chart it listed either Amari or Braden Dean or Amari.
Yeah, there's a bunch of oars on the depth chart, and I think that that's a testament to the top 6 guys. I think we feel comfortable. It's kind of like we talked about with the running back room. We feel comfortable with all of those 6 guys, those top 6 guys in any of those positions. So it really is going to be a game-by-game situation. We'll chart reps on the sideline and make sure that one guy isn't getting too much, make sure that he's not winded. We've got eyes in the box, making sure that, they keep me on track with substitutions and what we need to do there. But I feel comfortable and confident with all those guys, and I think we'll bring the freshmen along as we can. And, I think both of them have ability with Chance and Chris. Both of them have ability. It really depends on, how quickly we can trust them with knowing what to do and where to line up.
Lance, will you be on the field Saturday night?
I will, yes.
How important is that just because of this wide receiver group is so new and so young for you to be able to look those guys in the eyes after each possession?
Yeah, I think it's critical, honestly. I love being on the field. I really always thought that I would be in the box first year as the coordinator, but I think being on the field allows me to really be around that group. We've got a young, inexperienced group at receiver, but then also the ability to be able to get the offense together as a whole and talk about adjustments and sideline corrections and what our next thoughts are and really get all those guys and make sure that we're all on the same page. So just being able to look them in their eye and get those guys together on the sideline is huge for me.
Lance, you guys over here, you guys obviously have a lot of depth and talent on the offensive line, and I know while Satterfield is still going to be the play power, how much easier does it make it for you as an offensive coordinator knowing that the line is generating consistent holes for the backs and generating consistent protection for coming in?
Yeah, I think our offensive line has done a great job during fall camp. We've got a ton of depth. We've got experience up front, and that allows us to do so much more from a run game aspect, from a pass game aspect. But it gives you confidence as a coach to know that you're going in with a group that's been through the fire.
It's kind of going back to the wide receivers. On the pre-fall camp, I tried to have Amari kind of in there. Now it's Amari and Braden. Is there something that Braden did or Amari didn't do to kind of make that competition a little tougher?
Yeah, I think it's really Braden getting healthy. We didn't know before, training camp how much we would get to use Braden early on. He came back from a significant injury. I tell you, you want to talk about a kid who embodies what Coach Satterfield has stressed to our team with effort, attitude, and toughness. I mean, Braden has done an excellent job coming back from a significant injury, really working himself back into playing shape, overcoming a ton of adversity on and off the field, with the injury and all the doubt that creates. And so I think it's as much what Braden has done, not necessarily what somebody else hasn't done. Amari has done a great job, and he's made some really big plays for us this camp. So I'm excited about both those guys.
All right. Good coach. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Lance.